So what really makes him an innovator? I mean, is it just about having that one brilliant light bulb moment? Or is there, a whole lot more going on beneath the surface? Okay, let's get into it and really unpack what it means to be an innovator today.
You hear the word innovator, and what pops into your head? For a lot of us, it's probably that classic image, right? Some lone genius in a lab, a sudden flash of brilliance. But what if I told you that whole idea is maybe the biggest myth out there when it comes to innovation?
All right, to really get to the bottom of this, we've got to pull apart two words that we tend to throw around like they're the same thing: creativity and innovation. Think of it like this. Creativity, that's the spark. It's that mental magic of coming up with a new idea. But innovation, that's the fire. It's the tough strategic work of actually turning that spark into something real, something that has tangible value. Because let's be honest, without execution, an idea is just, it's just a thought floating in the air.
Okay, so let's build on that. We're going to clear up some terms because, honestly, to really get what an innovator is, you first have to be crystal clear on what they are not.
So what's our working definition of an innovator? It's the person or the team that builds the bridge between a cool idea and real-world execution. And look at the key phrase here: measurable, positive impact. That's the whole game. It's not just about dreaming up something new, it's about shipping a solution that genuinely makes a difference.
This chart, this is great. It really lays out how all these different roles fit together. So you've got the inventor, right? They're driven by pure curiosity, creating something totally new in a lab. Then you've got the entrepreneur, who's all about building a business that lasts. And in the middle, the adapter, making existing systems work better. But check out the innovator. Their whole world is practical application and tangible value. They're the ones who take an idea, maybe not even their own, and figure out how to make it work for everyone. The classic example is the iPod. I mean, Apple didn't invent the MP3 player, not by a long shot. But what they did was innovate the entire experience: the design, the user interface, the iTunes store. They made digital music easy and desirable, and boom, they changed an entire industry.
Okay, this gets us to the really interesting part: the people themselves. What's actually going on inside an innovator's mind? Is it some kind of gift you're born with, or is it something you can actually learn and build? So let's just put the big question right out there. Are innovators born, or are they made? Are the people who change the world just wired differently from birth? Did they win some kind of genetic lottery? Or is this a skill, something anyone can develop?
Well, the answer we're getting from all the research is honestly super empowering. The ability to innovate, it's not a gift, it's a discipline. It's a set of skills, mindsets, and methods that absolutely anyone can learn, practice, and get really, really good at. Let me say that again. No one is born an innovator. They are made.
So if they're made, what's the recipe? What's the psychological DNA of an innovator? Let's break this down. First up, intellectual humility. This is huge. It's being open to ideas, being okay with being wrong, no ego in the way. Next, strategic detachment. This is about being in love with the problem, not your first pet solution. Then you've got uncertainty management. You have to be comfortable with the messy, winding road of creation and see mistakes as just data. And finally, you need the guts for disruption of the status quo, that courage to look at how things have always been done and say, yeah, we can do better.
And this quote right here, it just nails it. This idea of strategic detachment is everything. Because think about it. If you fall in love with your first solution, you'll defend it to the death, even if it's not working. But if you're in love with the problem, you'll gladly throw away any solution that isn't cutting it, which frees you up to pivot and find the thing that actually, truly works.
All right, so if innovation is something you can learn, then what's the curriculum? What's in the textbook? Let's get practical and look at the Innovator's Toolkit, the 5 master skills that researchers keep seeing in the most disruptive innovators out there.
Here they are, the big 5. First, associating. This is all about connecting the dots between things that seem totally unrelated. Like how Steve Jobs connected his love for calligraphy to computer fonts. Second, questioning. Just constantly challenging why things are the way they are. Third is observing. This isn't just looking, it's watching people to spot problems they don't even know they have. Fourth, experimenting. You've got to have this itch to just build stuff, make prototypes, and test your ideas in the real world. And number 5, networking. And this isn't just smoozing. It's about intentionally seeking out people with different backgrounds to get fresh perspectives. And the key thing is these skills all work together. They're constantly feeding off each other.
Let's just double-click on one of these for a second. Questioning. Because it's not just about asking questions, it's about asking the right kind of questions. Innovators ask, why to get to the root of a problem. They ask why not to break down the walls we build in our own minds. And they ask what if to imagine completely new possibilities. It's such a simple framework, but man, is it a powerful way to challenge absolutely everything.
Okay, so we've got the mindset, we've got the skill set. So where do we actually see these innovators in action? Let's go out into the wild and see what they look like.
The first thing to realize is that innovators aren't all the same. They're not a monolith. They tend to show up in one of four main roles. You've got your classic startup entrepreneur, of course, building a company from the ground up, but just as important is the corporate entrepreneur, or intrapreneur, the one shaking things up inside a big company. Then you have the product innovator, who is just obsessed with creating the next great physical or digital thing, and finally, the process innovator, the genius who completely rethinks how we do things.
See, it doesn't matter if you're launching a startup from your garage or optimizing a workflow inside a massive corporation. Whether you're an entrepreneur or an intrapreneur, the mission is the same. Drive change, create value. It's the impact that counts, not the job title.
And this is the whole point, right? The big takeaway. Since innovators are made, not born, that means you can become one. So this last part is all about action. It's your practical guide, your path to start cultivating that innovator inside you right now.
Think of this as your roadmap. It all starts by just expanding your curiosity, right? Read outside your field. Talk to people who are totally different from you. This is how you start cross-pollinating ideas. Then, you start to sharpen your eye for spotting everyday problems and inefficiencies. From there, you practice experimenting, but in low-risk ways. Little tests, small bets. And yeah, you're going to have some failures, but you start to see them not as dead ends, but as learning opportunities. And all along the way, you're building a network of mentors and peers who can challenge and support you. You put all that together, and that's how you get to a place where you can create something that really, truly matters.
So let's end with this one powerful thought. Being an innovator, it's not a genetic trait. It's not something you are. It's something you do. It's an active choice you make every day. It's a commitment to looking at the world not just as it is, but as it could be. And that leaves just one last question for you. What problem are you going to fall in love with?